Hello. Hello, my beautiful people. This episode, I am going to be focusing on a chapter from a book called The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he is actually known for his book, The Four Agreements. And I'm going to read you a part of chapter 9 and let you soak it up. Okay, so I'm going to try to not talk too much because I want you to focus on this. And I know that it's going to require your attention and imagination. And so I hope you can, just try to make it through. It's not too long. It's about, I don't know, 3.5 pages. And the reason that I am reading this to you today is I think it's a good representation of a way to describe that basically this whole looking outside of ourself, okay, that I talk a lot about. I am not the first one, but I think it gets really challenging to explain it when you're going through something, um, not going through, when you're like in life, just learning, because we are all moving from a place of how, what has influenced us, right? Culture, parents, friends, family, okay? And maybe there are a lot of us who thought we knew what love was, just in general. Um, I guess to say, knew what love was, but maybe we saw it on the big screen, right? In movies, this very fantastical um, view, I guess to say, of it. And I've said this before, I know it's annoying, but the focus of culture on finding it outside of ourselves, okay? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. So maybe he says it well for you by telling a story from Greek mythology, okay? So, chapter 9, The Divine. This is from The Mastery of Love, Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a practical guide to the art of relationship, okay? And this is a really good book, so I'm going to have to read other segments from it. I'm sure, especially when it was talking about the wounded. Did it say the wounded? Oh, the wounded mind was really good, and how we lie to ourselves. Okay. In Greek mythology, there is a story about Artemis, the divine huntress. Artemis was the supreme huntress because the way she hunted was effortless. She fulfilled her needs so easily and lived in perfect harmony with the forest. Everything in the forest loved Artemis, and to be hunted by her was an honor. It never seemed like Artemis was hunting. Whatever she needed came to her. That is why she was the best hunter, but this also made her the most difficult prey. Her animal form was a magical deer that was almost impossible to hunt. Artemis lived in harmony in the forest until one day a king gave an order to Hercules, the son of Zeus, who was searching for his descendants. The order was that Hercules had to hunt the magical deer of Artemis. He, being the son of Zeus, did not refuse the forest to hunt the deer. The deer saw Hercules, but she wasn't afraid of him, and she wasn't afraid of him. Come close, but when he tried to capture her, she ran. There was no way Hercules could get this deer unless became a better hunter than Artemis. He called upon Hermes, I hope I said that right, the messenger of the gods, the fastest one, to lend him his wings. Now Hercules was as fast as Hermes. And soon the most valuable prey was in the hands of Hercules. You can imagine the reaction of Artemis. She was hunted by Hercules, and of course she wanted to get even. She wanted to hunt Hercules, and she did her best to capture him, but Hercules was now the most difficult prey. Hercules was so free, and although she tried and tried, Artemis could not capture him. Artemis didn't need Hercules at all. She felt a strong need to have him, but of course it was only an illusion. She believed she was in love with Hercules, and she wanted him for herself. The one thing on her mind was to get him, and it became an obsession until she was no longer happy. Artemis started to change. She was no longer in harmony with the forest because now she just hunted just for the pleasure of getting the prey. Artemis broke her own rules and became a predator. The animals were afraid and the forest started to reject her, but Artemis didn't care. She didn't see the truth. She only had Hercules on her mind. He had many works to do, but sometimes he would go to the forest to visit Artemis, Every time he did, she would do her best to hunt him. When she was with him, she felt so happy to be with him, but she knew he would leave, and she became jealous and possessive. Every time Hercules left, she suffered and cried. She hated him, but she loved him also. He had no idea what was going on in the mind of Artemis. He didn't notice she was hunting him. In his mind, he was never the prey. Hercules loved and respected Artemis, but this is not what she wanted. She wanted to own him. She wanted to hunt him and be the prey. Of course, everyone in the forest noticed the difference in Artemis except her. In her mind, she was still the Divine Huntress. She didn't have the awareness that she had fallen. She wasn't aware that the heaven that was the forest had become hell because after her fall, the rest of the hunters fell with her. They all became prey. One day, Hermes took an animal form, and just as Artemis was ready to destroy Hermes, he became a god, and she rediscovered the wisdom she had lost. He let her know she had fallen, and with this awareness, Artemis went to Hercules to ask for this. It was nothing but her personal importance that brought her to that fall. In talking to Hercules, she realized she had never offended him because he didn't know what was going on in her mind. She looked around the forest and saw what she had done to the forest. She apologized to every flower and every animal until she recovered love. Once again, she became the Divine Huntress. I tell you this story to let you know that all of us are hunters and all of us are prey. Everything that exists is both hunter and prey. What is it that we hunt? We hunt to fulfill our needs. Talked about the needs of the body versus the mind. When the mind believes it is the body, the needs are only illusions and they cannot be fulfilled. When we hunt those needs that are unreal in the mind, we become the predators. We are hunting for what we don't need. Humans hunt for love. We feel that we need that love because we believe we don't have love because we love ourselves. We look for love in others just like us, expecting to get love from them when these humans are in the same conditions as we are. They don't love themselves either. So, how much love can we get from them? We merely create a bigger need that isn't real. We keep hunting and hunting, but in the wrong place because other humans don't have the love we need. When Artemis became aware back to herself because everything she needed was inside herself. It is the same for all of us because all of us are like Artemis after she fell and before her redemption. We are hunting for love. We are hunting for justice and happiness. We are hunting for God, but God is inside us. The hunting of the magical deer teaches you that you have to hunt inside yourself. This is a great story to keep in mind. If you remember the story of Artemis, you will always find the love inside you. Humans who hunt each other for love will never be satisfied. They will never find the love they need in other humans. The mind feels the need, but we cannot fulfill it because it isn't there. It's never there. The love we need to hunt is inside ourselves, but that love is difficult prey. It is so difficult to hunt inside to get that love from inside you. You have to be fast, fast as Hermes, because anything can distract you from your goal. Whatever traps your attention distracts you from reaching your goal, from getting the prey that is the love inside. You can capture the prey, love can grow strong inside you and it can fulfill all your needs. This is so important for your happiness. Usually humans go into relationships as the hunter. They look for what they need, hoping to find what they need in the other person, only to find that it's not there. When you enter a relationship without this need, it's a different story. How do you hunt inside yourself? To capture the love inside yourself, you have to surrender to yourself as the hunter and the prey. Inside your own mind, there is the hunter and there is also the prey. Who is the hunter? Is the prey. In ordinary people, the hunter is the parasite. The parasite knows everything about you, and what the parasite wants are the emotions that come from fear. The parasite is a garbage eater. It loves fear and drama. It loves anger, jealousy, and envy. It loves any emotion that makes you suffer. The parasite wants to get even, and it wants to be in control. Okay, so he goes on and on for the rest of the chapter. And now, after reading that now for about, I don't know, the second or third time, I don't know, specifically that part I'm saying, it makes my perspective is exactly what I told you, this whole hunting thing that we do. And I wanted to be able to explain this because had I read this younger, I still would have been like, what do you mean? It's inside. We have to have self love. Like, I wouldn't, again, have been able to process it now or process it the same back then, right? I know it's maturity level and experience, but basically what I get from this, as well as I am in agreement with a lot of the things that he says here, but including the part of consuming yourself in somebody else, right? That's that's one of the messages there. And then losing yourself. Um, what else did he say about that? That's like one of the biggest takeaways. And again, the whole thinking you're going to find, he makes it seem like, okay, if I was going to say to find it in somebody else, it doesn't mean don't find somebody else to love or don't fall in love or whatever it is. That's not right. Finding somebody that you love and can enhance your life, platonic or romantic, this can be found, people, right? Remember, again, the depths of love is all that I say. Multiple soulmates, soul companions, different people out there. We have different soul contracts. We just happen to pick certain ones, maybe that we marry, that is for those very specific reasons. And sometimes it's just in the divine plan to have a kid with that person, right? And sometimes people break up, okay? So nobody really wants to hear it like that, but sometimes literally that is what it is, okay? So this is all going back to mindset. And I wasn't going to talk a lot in this episode because I want you to soak this up. I want you to digest it. And I want you to use this myth, we'll call it a myth, right? Um, because that makes it sound like it's not true at all. But I guess using these figures in mythology, they like to use that, especially the Greek. It seems like, not that I've read a lot, but I want you to sit with this, and maybe this helps give a little bit more perspective on just the whole what can happen when you're searching for it, how you can become crazy. It literally is a predator and prey situation. And just, since the beginnings of time, it's like, I don't know to call it innate or not. Okay, so I wanted to get this out there. It's been on my mind for a while, reading this out of the book and just trying to find different ways to explain to you all. Um, Again, I'm going to say it again because this is why things can be so complicated. Maybe they don't, but just look at the roots of what we've been taught about love and lust and infatuation and the difference between the two. And furthermore, additionally, on top of that, when you're heavily attracted to somebody, that hypnotic effect, uh, walking zombie that you become when that happens. So, anyway, that feels like a power trip. You can listen to that other episode on my Hypnotized by Beauty playlist. Okay, so have a good night and thanks for tuning in. Maybe this interested you and maybe this helped you. I don't know. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.